It was supposed to be the happiest day of her life. The church bells were ringing, the guests were waiting, and the flowers were arranged in perfect symmetry. But hidden behind a stained glass window in a quiet hallway, Claire Whitmore, one of America's youngest billionaires, sat on the floor in her wedding gown, mascara running down her cheeks. She had everything most people could only dream of: wealth, influence, fame, but what she didn't have was love. And standing just a few feet away from the aisle, she realized she couldn't marry a man who saw her as a brand more than a person. That when she heard the sound of footsteps approaching, a man holding the tiny hand of a little girl. "Are you okay?" the man asked, his voice gentle but steady. Claire looked up and saw a tall, broad-shouldered man in worn jeans and a clean but faded shirt. His daughter, maybe 6 or 7, peeked shyly from behind his leg. I can't do this," Claire stammered. "I can't marry him." The man didn't look shocked. "Then don't," he said simply, as if it were the most obvious choice in the world. She laughed bitterly. "It's not that simple. Everyone's here. My family, the press. If I leave, it'll be a scandal." "Better a scandal than a lifetime with the wrong person," he replied. His name was Daniel Brooks, a single dad who had been working part-time at the church, helping set up events to earn extra income for his daughter Lily. He had no idea who Claire really was, just a woman in trouble. "Come on," Daniel said, lowering his voice. "There's a back door. No one has to see you." Claire hesitated only a second before taking his hand. She didn't even stop to grab her bouquet. The three of them slipped through the quiet corridors of the church, past storage rooms and a dusty organ, until they reached an old wooden door. Daniel's beat-up truck was parked outside. The paint was chipped, the passenger seat covered in Lily's crayons and snack wrappers. It was the most unpretentious thing Claire had stepped into in years. They drove in silence at first, until Daniel pulled into a small diner off the highway. "You look like you need pancakes more than anything," he said. Inside, Lily chattered happily to Claire, offering her half a cookie. For the first time that day, Claire really smiled. Over coffee, Daniel asked no questions about her wealth or family. He just listened. And she found herself telling him everything: how she felt trapped, how her parents had pushed for the marriage, how she wanted to start over somewhere no one knew her name. "You can," Daniel said. "You just have to choose it." By the time they left the diner, something in Claire had shifted. She wasn't just running from something anymore, she was running toward something new. In the following weeks, she disappeared from the headlines. Tabloids speculated, but the truth was simple. Claire rented a small apartment under a different name and started volunteering at the same community center where Daniel coached kids' soccer. She was clumsy at first, but the laughter, the noise, the normalcy, it healed her. One evening, after practice, Lily tugged at Claire's sleeve. "You should stay for dinner with us. Daddy makes really good spaghetti." Claire looked at Daniel, who shrugged with a small smile. "She's the boss." Months passed. Friendship turned into something unspoken, deeper. Claire learned that Daniel had once given up his dreams of becoming a chef to raise Lily after her mother left. She saw the quiet strength in him, the kind of strength that didn't need to be advertised. One night, sitting under the soft glow of the porch light, Claire whispered, "You know, you saved me that day." Daniel shook his head. "No, you saved yourself. I just opened a door." And maybe that was the truth. But sometimes all a person needs is someone willing to stand by the exit when they're too afraid to walk through it alone. Claire never returned to her old life. She didn't need the boardrooms, the photo shoots, or the endless events. What she needed was right there, little girl who called her Aunt Claire, until one day she called her Mom, and a man who had nothing to give but his whole heart. The world never knew the full story of the billionaire bride who ran away, but Claire knew it by heart. It was about kindness from a stranger, the courage to start over, and the truth that sometimes the best love stories begin the moment you dare to walk away from the wrong one.